Alright, welcome back everyone to Dragon Age Inquisition. Been a while, so let's talk to everybody, see what's going on in the world.
The war in Olay has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
That would have made everything much simpler.
The colors were pretty, though.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably.
One for the Empress, for Gaspard, Brianna, the Duchess, and Caritas, right in the dangle bag.
You think all those people should be treated the same?
After Halam Sharel? Kind of. They all get little people killed and don't care. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a butt for the throne? A skinny elven puppet arse at that. Wonder how long before she forgets her poor elves. Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I don't know. Want to stop a party, I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things, with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. That, and Briala being an idiot, the whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
You don't think much of her, but Briala came out ahead.
Right, because that was all the plan and not dumb luck. Dumb luck named you. Watch out,
Well,
yeah.
at least they
The hole
know
in
it's
the
'cause
sky
of me.
didn't start their war. Stupid people did that. Still going to be plenty of those after Corypheons is dead.
How's it going, boy?
Got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess. At least under the Q, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
You got away with words, Bull.
I do what I can.
Maybe we can find some other uses for that mouth of yours.
Yeah. When is the next meal anyway? Orlesian food always leaves me hungry.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
Ooh.
Is there a problem? It seems like she's bothering you.
Mother Giselle is kind, and she means well. So, yes, she was. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
Yeah,
I think you'd make an excellent divine.
Truly? I never look good in hats.
with those acts, no one looks good. Good lord. Listen,
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars. This cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
If you're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
in this playthrough, I would agree with her because, one,
I have influence.
is a
I can use it to
soldier,
help the Chantry make up its
so
mind.
she knows how to make
I
that
cannot
kind of
ask you to do that.
choice
You don't have
with
to.
the Templars
If you
and
think
Seekers.
that is the right thing to do, then
But she also is pro
Thank you.
mage.
I suppose I
She's the
should
one
not
that
be so
said we should go to
concerned.
the mages
The
for help.
clerics speak my name for now.
Colin was the one that said we should go to
For
the
now,
Templars.
restoring order and stopping corruption
Liliana's
remain our
way too
priority.
bloodthirsty for my taste.
You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... We will speak of this later.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium.
It seemed very important to him.
It's not a decision to be made lightly. But now, Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
Why didn't he come to me?
We had an agreement long before you joined us. As a Seeker, I could evaluate the dangers.
Cassandra, did you refuse Cullen's request because he's wrong, or because you want him to be wrong?
Mages have made their suffering known, but Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Like, just like in real world perspective on that. You find out your country's military only can still do their jobs, or can only do their jobs if someone constantly supplies them with like meth or cocaine on a regular basis. Pretty messed up. Okay, Colin. Boy!
I didn't hear you enter. Forgive me.
So long as you weren't aiming at me. I'm sure the box had it coming.
I swear, I didn't know you were... I never meant for this to interfere.
I believe you.
But whatever good it does, promises me nothing if I cannot keep them. Did you know Ferelden's circle was taken over by abominations? I was there. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind, and I... How can you be the same person after that? Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Her fear of mages ended in madness.
Yeah,
Kirkwall's circle fell. Innocent people died.
and you were going to arrest me afterwards. I
Don't
remember
you
that.
see why I want nothing to do with that life?
With everything that's happened, you've picked a bad time to start over.
I should have seen that. I thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did to Chantry. I should be taking it. I should be taking it.
So that's it. Things get difficult and you back down.
That's not...
You've built an army. Are you capable of leading it?
Yes, Inquisitor.
Then carry on as you were. Without lyrium. You need that in writing?
That won't be necessary.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Sharal, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
Glad you liked it.
You had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promises, half-truths. It is a palace full of motivation, and motivation is where great things happen. In any event, Gaspar should be a steadfast ally. Briala will keep him in check, and look after the elves.
I liked it. The Inquisition gets a valuable ally, and perhaps your people will get better treatment in Orlais.
How will mages be treated better? Oh, you mean elves? Sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Nor should you. You're not defined by the shape of your ears. They're not your people.
No, they are not. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, I believe Briala is doing quite well on their behalf. She is an admirable woman.
She's done good work. Hopefully with our help, she can help them even more.
Yes. However much I identify, or fail to identify, with her people, Briala's efforts have been remarkable. She organized resistance against a powerful enemy, using only her wits and the resources at hand. That demands respect, especially in a world where most would look at her and only see a pair of pointed ears.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. An empress dead, an emperor under your spell, and that elven harpy eating out of your hand, if she doesn't bite it off. All this dancing, politics, and murder makes me a bit homesick.
That's something you actually miss?
Who wouldn't? All the drama, the scandal, the petty maneuverings. Back home, we engage in social affairs with the grim intensity of war. When blood is spilled, the battle is won. Less fun when you're the target, but to watch. My, yes. I think you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
Like, damn despair ham.
I should go.
Naturally.
Inquisitor, I wonder if you might help me with a delicate situation. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern.
Oh.
I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
Yeah, sure,
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart, or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
Okay. And last one. Beric.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be bastard. I've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Carry on.
You're the Inquisitor. You're very tall. Mother didn't say you were Canary.
Oh? I'm told it's the first thing one notices about me.
I noticed your blood. It doesn't belong to your people.
Kieran, are you bothering the
My blood doesn't belong.
Of course not. Did you see what's on his hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad. Perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
'Twould be most unlikely. His father helped raise Kieran for a time, but events have conspired to take him elsewhere. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
Seems like a fine young man.
But not the sort one might expect a woman like me to raise. No son of mine would be raised in a marsh, bereft of contact with the outside world. His
Yeah, I
future
can realize
was
that your
difficult
fashion
enough
sense.
without my adding to his burden. To think, until recently, this place stood decrepit, occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tarar Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
Magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice.
Thank
You
you.
were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
You swear it? That's rather serious.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may.
Let's see. Anything else we can get from you?
Wandering the gardens, I see.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah, yes. Whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kukari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight?
The Blight began in the Kukari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is
You
the
did.
Blight
You're my only mage.
We became close. Closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother, Inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. The moment Celine perished, my time in court was done. I do not miss it overmuch.
I leave you to the garden.
As you like.
First, this wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and heir apparency and... Halam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled by Duchess Florian. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
Are you serious? I did my part. She's dead.
That was the time allotted for rebuttal. Her crimes negated any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
I call for rehabilitation. The Skull shall do public theater about the evils of evil. I also judge the box. End table for orphans.
That's quite enough, Inquisitor. Point.
Duchess in the Box tour. I don't think I ever actually did that. That's hilarious.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiraz was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
No, I should think not. I must confess, when Celine was killed, my first reaction wasn't sorrow. It was disappointment. How could the Empress of Orlais be taken in by the Duchess's plot?
Celine trusted me, us, to help her.
She trusted she could use us. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
Playing the game was thrilling. We did just make history.
With Celine gone, I don't know if it will be for the better or the worse. Although I do wish Varric would show a bit more restraint in his accounts of the evening.
Thank you for seeing me in private, Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs. It's hardly worth it. I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these du Paraquets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
The Duparaquets used to be noble. You'd be restoring an old house of Orlais.
Restoring it far too late. What are the Duparaquets now? Traders? Farmers? Really, it is too much. The very thought causes me pain. What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Information. Unless you believe your sources better than agents of the Inquisition.
Normally, I wouldn't trust your discretion. But the left hand of the Divine is working for you, is she not? Sister Leliana is a resourceful woman. I could certainly make use of her talents. Very well, Inquisitor. Should you fulfill this bargain, I shall raise the Duparaquets into lordship.
I want to say you can have sex with her at some point. If, depending on how your relationships are at the time. That's an option, I believe. So I'm not 100% sure.
Visitor, welcome to the Western Approach. You're a long way from the Winter Palace now. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Well, it's good to know what I'm in for.
Sorry I don't have more for you. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
So upset with myself not knowing I could romance her sooner. But, okay, onward.
Inquisitor, if you have a moment.
No, I don't. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. No one likes spiders. I also don't like being poisoned. And dead. See, well, we found a cave. That has a light. Giant spiders, spiders. Inventory complete.
Baker. They did something this horrible and wrote about it. These people are wrong in every possible way.
Yeah, that's typically how it works, though. It's always worse when the bad people don't do what they're doing is bad. Convenient. Alright.
Stolen supplies. Who in the world would send anything out here?
What happened here? Whoever did this has a lot to answer for.
I think it's dead now.
A chantry symbol out here. Odd.
What are the odds that all these people just happen to die here?
Not very. Oh, there's the dragon.
We're fighting her, right? Tell me we're fighting her, boss.
Hook two. Ah.
Turn back! This is madness! Someone at Skyhold will have a solution.
Because we sure don't. There we go. Going over this one. Phoenix.
There must be something here.
Probably. Ouch, short. Okay, good. We have a camp here now, too.
Inquisitor, if you have a moment.
Huh? Neat.
I'm glad you made it, Inquisitor. I fear they've already started the ritual.
It has to be blood magic. Steel yourselves. Whatever lies inside won't be pretty. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Thanks, champion.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong.
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death,
I'm sorry.
sacrifice. Good. Now bind it just as I showed you.
Those never line up right.
Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, at your service.
You are no warden.
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
I've killed demons before. If I have to kill a few Warden mages as well, so be it.
You may have to kill a few, yes. Wardens, hands up. Hands down.
Corypheus has taken their minds.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Even to Vinter.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared.
What in the world does he do?
Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Ah, I was wondering when the demon army would show up.
You knew about it, did you? Well then, here you are. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They are now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool.
No, Livius, you're the tool.
Me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god kings here in the world.
Why would Clarel risk using demons?
Demons need no food, no rest, no healing. Once bound, they will never retreat, never question orders. They are the perfect army to fight through the deep roads. Or across Orlais. Now they are bound to my master.
So Corypheus influenced the Wardens and made them do this ritual?
Made them? No! Everything you see here, the blood sacrifices to bind the demons, the Wardens did it of their own free will. Fear is a very good motivator, and they were very afraid. You should have seen Clarel agonize over the decision. Burdens of command, I suppose.
Why would the Wardens try to kill the old gods?
A blight happens when Darkspawn find an old god and corrupt it into an archdemon. If someone fought through the deep roads and killed the old gods before they could be corrupted, woof, no more blights, ever. The Wardens sacrificed their lives and saved the world.
That's madness. For all we know, killing the old gods could make things even worse.
Well then, it's a good thing I'm taking this demon army off their hands.
You think you can stand against me with just demons and a Fade Rift? Did Corypheus not mention what I did to the Breach?
He did. He also noted what he did to you at Haven. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you, in the event you were foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be...
Surprise.
Kill them!
Rip.
You were correct. Through their ritual, the mages are slaves to Corypheus.
And the Warden were sacrificed? I knew the Wardens would go too far.
Eramund lied to the Wardens. They were trying to prevent future blights.
With blood magic and human sacrifice.
The Wardens were wrong, Hawk, but they had their reasons.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
I believe I know where the Wardens are, Your Worship. Eramund fled in that direction. There's an abandoned Warden fortress that way. Adamant.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
Damn. How did he get by? Honestly, not sure how that happened. Oh, doesn't matter. Still next time for Dragon Age Inquisition.